family. This is Get Your It Together 2.1, and I am your host, Avok, a voice of consciousness, here with another edition. Once again, today is February 20th, 2026, and we are here. So great day, family of one source. Great day, family of one source. I greet you in love, peace, and humility. For once again, we are here streaming our essence, which is energy, frequency, and vibration. So we are that which is the all, energy, frequency, and vibration. So I come to you humbly and express to you that who I am is divine. What I am is divinity in motion. So we will consistently remain vigilant in our efforts to share this very unique and profound presence that we already are in this now moment of time. So we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, I wrote something down here, what is the intention? What is the intention behind capturing your attention? What is the intention behind capturing your attention? First and foremost, we must know, completely be real clear on the fact that you are divinity. Walking, talking, breathing, loving, doing whatever you do, it's divine. All is divine. Everything, everywhere is divine. There's no separation in the one source of all. Now, there's classism for the worldly person. There's racism. There's all type of isms. However, in the divine realm of the all that is, being all there is, there's no separation in the one source, being all there is. So your perspective, or whatever idea you may have in your mind about separation, is a fallacy, is a farce, and it is not the reality and the truth of your being. That this is what we have to really come to terms with, because in reality there's only consciousness, and consciousness is expressed in a gazillion different ways. There's no one way to express consciousness. There's no one aspect that is more powerful, more dynamic, more anything over anything else. It's a matter of choice. It's always a matter of choice. The divinity, you as the presence representing divine essence that you already are, but naked, have choices. And so the presence that you already are and the all that is experiencing itself through all of the aspects of itself. You're just a part, not a part, you are a diplomat, if you will, a representation in a, maybe in a minuscule or smaller a smaller essence or a smaller presence, not a smaller essence, because once you uncover and start to remember, all of the power will be expressed through you consciously. See, the whole idea is to get you consciously remembering yourself. The whole idea is to get you really turning the wheels with bringing back the memory of who you, and what you really are. So the intention, the intention behind capturing your attention is to keep you occupied so you can't focus on anything but whatever that which is attempting to occupy your mind or occupy your time or occupy. It's all about keeping you busy so that you don't uncover, reveal, or remember how to work your vessel. This is like getting a new toy and it didn't come with any instructions, physical instructions, paperwork. You have to read paperwork and check off the box. You didn't get that. However, coded, encoded within your DNA is encrypted information that only you can decode. That's how powerful this thing is. Only you can decode what's in you. Now, people talk about teaching. You can't teach a soul. There's no teaching a soul. At best you can do is spark the memory. Again, I'm saying the things, and only that which resonates with those who know what I'm talking about is that's the only people that this is for. Actually, it's for me, first of all, first and foremost. However, I've decided to communicate, to transmit through my presence, through my knowing, based on my knowing. I can't contain what I know. I cannot contain it. I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to lead. That's not my job. That's not the responsibility of me. We all have our own responsibilities, and it's not to anyone else. First and foremost, the responsibility is to self. First and foremost, self-preservation, that's what they say. However, self-preservation is not really self-preservation, it's really self-love. See, if your focus is consistently on thinking you're doing something for somebody else, or always putting yourself in a position to say you're doing something for somebody else, or thinking that you have something that everybody should have and everybody should need and everybody should want, or to, well, if you don't do it, it won't get done, or all these things are ego-based. These things are ego-based, meaning your ego is telling you that you're needed for the specific reasons that you outlined, or maybe you did a whole soliloquy on why something or someone needs you, or why the world needs you, or however, in the same breath, you're not that special, is what you're being told. So if you're not that special, then what would be the reason for your voice? Why do you need to say anything? What's important about your having a voice in the matter? Since that's the big thing now, you know, be heard and your voice. And so again, what is the intention behind capturing your attention? Just keep you distracted. What's been the practice for eons? Keep you busy. Is you don't have time to develop, procure, or assess your abilities because you don't even remember what abilities you have. Even though it's shown in the movies and they give it to you through all types of history, not not history, but the legacy that is melanated and true. See, we have to turn away from what we call history and look at the legacy. Because history is just what it says, his story. So somebody created a story and you buy into it. You know, that movies and series and all types of things communicate a history of deception, a history of criminality, a history of all types of histories of deceit, and histories of how to trick. However, got to look past the history and look at the legacy. What's been the legacy? What's been the center focal point of the characteristical traits that govern that which is legacy? And therein lies your truth. Now, if you're not interested in it, I understand it's not for everybody. I'm not here for anyone, to be honest. This is for me to communicate through whatever dimension that is, that's the highest level of cognition for this presence of divinity. Remember, who I am is divine. What I am is divinity in motion. So I'm not real concerned about what you think about me, what you think about what I'm saying, because whoever shares in this perspective, idea, what have you, philosophy, meaningful I might add, it will resonate within their heart of hearts. See, this is no longer are we, I believe. You either know it or you don't. It's not about belief. It's not about hoping. You can pray all you want. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work. However, you have to be intentional with that which you know. Because it all shows up. And what you want to show up is that which is your knowing based on what you remember. And if you're not aligning yourself with the best aspects of yourself, whatever that is, your heart tells you. Your heart knows. Every part of you is in alignment with that which is you. So if any of what I say resonate, then that's something in you already. It ain't got nothing to do with me telling you or me showing you or me teaching you anything. It's more about you deciding at some point to turn on, tune in, and turn it up. That's what you're doing. This is not me doing anything for you. You're gonna do it for you. I'm not here to do for you. No one's here to do for you. To be honest, you've been deceived and tricked into thinking that, oh, this is for the people and this is for, Self-love is the highest love you could ever give. And so if you're going to speak on love without really having to say you love, do the things that's integrous. You're doing the things that's with dignity. You're doing the things that speaks of high character, not presumptuous, not acting like, not um, putting on a show, or not wanting to make sure somebody proving something. It's not about none of that, because all that stuff is ego based, and the ego based stuff, if that's what's leading you, it's not gonna. It won't last in the realm of where we are. Let me say that again. Ego based, front running realities won't last in the realm of where we are now. We're in a cycle. We're always in cycles. Everything is a cycle. There are cycles within cycles within cycles. So some are short, some are long, but they all work together. It's all working together. Nothing is separate. Nothing. You can try to imagine yourself being separate and wanting to be separate, and hell, you can tell yourself anything you want. The choice is yours. However, aligning yourself to the true nature within you that is representative of the all that is source, as much as you are source unto yourself. See, the way energy, frequency, and vibration works is you honor and align yourself within the core of that which you are um, able to hold. But your melanin functions more than your melanin actually. Let me say this: your melanin can hold so much light intensity. That's the reason why you can go out in the sun. Now you can get sunburn, yes. However, depending on you and how deeply you're connected with the understanding of the presence of the you all that you are, your melanin holds light as you are light. Light has and is a frequency. Everyone has a frequency. Every artery, everything in your body has a frequency. Now, depending on what your consciousness holds, how much you can manage from a conscious and being aware of where you are, what's going on in the moment, your melanin allows you to hold so much information, or so, not information, let me back up, because it's more than information. Your melanin is the key to you unlocking the frequency to the extent that harmonizes with the all that you already are. Now that might sound a little, I don't know, double talking, I don't know. But let me say it a different way. Just like a lock on a door, and it's only one key to fit. Now you can make copies of the key, but only one specific key with the certain grooves in it fits that lock and will open that door. You can have keys that look like it, have similar grooves, but if they're not precisely set in a certain way, they're not going to open that lock. But unlike a key, there are no copies of you. There's an internal coded element that's unlocked through your melanin, because your melanin is what processes the level of consciousness that you are able to maintain. So as we matriculate or ascend to whatever, wherever we're ascending to, we're in a cycle that's more commensurate to the opening, to the unlocking of all that you already are. Unlocking the memory, unlocking your DNA. Remember, it's 95% of the DNA. They admit, hey, we don't know what that is. Junk. We don't know what that is. But that's because it's not for you. You got to understand something. Everything ain't for everybody. I've said that. I keep saying it. I'll continue to say it. This book that I wrote, you know, some people gravitated, hey, it's great. Some people like, oh, it's a little over my head. Some people like, well, but to be more specific, my auntie said, well, Dr. King, he spoke to all the people. Well, guess what? We all speak to everybody, whoever. But everybody ain't gonna understand what we're saying. Depending on the conversation, depending on the subject matter, everybody's not gonna get it. And guess what? Everybody ain't supposed to. It ain't for them. And it's okay. And that's what I told her. It's like, it's okay. It's not, I'm not setting out to do something specifically for any one person. Oh, what's your target audience? Whoever, whenever the time is right, whatever they're looking for, if that's what it is and they align with that and they pick it up, that's how it works. It's not about me trying to say what I'm doing for you, unless you are me. You, me, we as one with source. That's it. Anybody else, hey, it ain't your time. And it's okay. It's not a bad or good or right or wrong. It's more about timing and how aligned you are with that which is. That's what this is about. And it's not about it's not about an anthropomorphic deity. Everybody God this and God that. I ain't knocking that. That's your thing. Go for it. But I don't know. Source, for me, source is for all. Everything. Everything. The source I'm talking about, the source of all that is, governs all there is. It's not no characteristical traits of a man who says he's jealous or you can't do this and you can't do that. The presence that you already are has so much dignity, class, is sovereign. All you gonna do is what's in your best interest. You're not gonna do anything that's not in your best interest. And so it's not in your best interest to hurt, harm, or maim. It's not in your best interest to find fault and look for issues with others. Because again, everything is connected. And since everything is connected, whatever it is you're experiencing that you see, that you actually can touch, that you have an experience with, it's a reflection of you. See, this is energy, frequency, and vibration. This is divinity. Everything, if you have a question, the answer is in the question, and vice versa. If you have answers to something, there's a question for it. If you have questions for something, there's an answer for it. This is how it works. This is not a I got a question, so I got to go ask. And yeah, if you want to, but if you have patience and you trust and you put an intention in your heart and ask that question of the divine self, the all that you already are, you're going to get answers. And they're going to be that right answer. It ain't about me telling you anything. It's about me expressing what's coming through me. Because if you, as you can see, today is the first time I wrote down a title because I wanted to focus on um, what is the intention? What is the intention behind capturing your attention? I wanted to make sure that we really talk about this and allow this to process through me. I'm asking to have it processed through me. All of it's love because I love me. And the fact that I love me and doing what I'm doing now, this is love. This is another form of it. There's so many different ways love can be expressed. It's not just um, what somebody else says. Everything, divinity is everything is. We're ambassadors of this presence. We're the ambassadors of this presence. Whatever we think that is, whatever you want to call it, you can call it whatever you like. The name doesn't define it. What defines it is the character by which it presents itself. That's the defining moment or the defining aspect. You can say your name, you can call whatever name you want to call it. But the characteristics of that which you're calling it will reveal itself, whether you talk about it and share it or not, whether you hide it or not, whether you clear and above board or not. You know, if you're not transparent, that's okay. It's going to show itself. That's how divinity works. It's going to reveal itself. It's not hiding anything. It's not really, and that's why everything is everything. Everything is everything. Nothing is hidden. The only reason we think stuff is hidden because we've been conditioned, programmed to understand and think a certain way. And so we choose not to see because of what's been preempted or we've been predisposed to. So we allow that to cloud our sight or obstruct our vision. But these are choices that we're making to do. Just like we're afraid, or some are, I won't say we, some are afraid to see it as it really is. You know, to call a spade a spade. Back in the day, you know, the older people, they would just tell you what it is. You might not like it, but hey, they would tell you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. I'm saying what it is. Now, whether you accept it or not, I don't have nothing to do with that. Because again, this is for me. If it resonates with you, good, great, super. Hey, that's what it's about. If it doesn't resonate with you, good, great. That's not what it's about. It's about how convicted are you in your soul, in your spirit, in the knowing yourself, knowing thyself. Because that's where we are. We're in the time, this cycle that we're in speaks to knowing thyself. You can't know thyself if someone else has projected an idea and you're afraid to go outside of that idea. If you're afraid to, because again, back to what? What is the intention with capturing your attention? The intention for someone else is to control you. Everything is set up to control you if someone else is indoctrinating you. It's about control. Bottom line, if you think it's something else, if you that's fine. If the money is good and all, whatever you choose is okay. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good or bad thing. Love family. It's not about being good or bad. It's about your heart's intention. And are you aligned with it? Do you synchronize your reality with the presence that you're living in the now time that we're in? Are you riding a wave? Are you just stuck on a processing loop, repeating something you've been told, something you've been shown, something said, some way the way they lived, your history, back in the day they did this, everything was this and that. They talk about everything being, the slaves came over and this war and that war. What was it before that? Before that story, what was this? Well, let me back up. At the same time that story was being told, and some of those people had those realities, no question about it. But there were other realities. That wasn't the only thing going on. See, you got to understand something. And you don't have to, but I'm going to share it. There is an understanding, and an overstanding that has been standing from the beginning of time. Not when they decide to go back a year, 2 years, 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, but way before. And so, if you know, or since you know, because you do know that the energies or the entities that have come about, to present a story that many have bought hook, line. It's kind of like catching fish. Once you got them hooked, you ain't letting go. Why would you? The purpose and the intention is to catch the fish. If you're out there fishing, if you're trying to catch a fish, you ain't letting that fish go, especially if you're hungry. And the whole idea is to catch fish because you eat fish and you're hungry. It's a pastime, you like it, you love it, whatever. But the intention is to catch fish. Why? To eat. To be fed. To keep your internal organs going. To do the things that you need to expand. I don't say grow, because energy and frequency and vibration doesn't grow. It expands. See, a lot of what we've been told takes us away from the reality and the truth in the present moment that it already exists, that exists already. And in doing so, we tend to forget. It keeps you disconnected from making the choices, because we only think that there's only one choice, or it's only one idea, or there's only one thing that we can choose from. Or it's two things. It's either this or it's that. It's either or. Well, it could be both. It's a possibility for it to be both. And you can still make a choice to do both, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing. Again, the whole mindset has to be readjusted. You have to recalibrate. We're in a system, we're in a cycle that you got to recalibrate. They talk about reset. No, recalibration. Recalibration is a type of reset, but you're recalibrating with the use of all that you are, not resetting to go back to the factory the way it was set before the mindset got twisted, or before you lost your memory or forgot. We're not talking about reset. We're talking about recalibrate. Because the reason you had the experiences was so that you would know. And that experience is allowing you to know based on the expansion of consciousness. So consciousness expands, just like water in a bottle put in a freezer, ice expands, bust the bottle. Just like if it's too much heat in an enclosed bottle, it'll bust the bottle. We're talking about expansion. It's not, you can call it growing, but again, the term to say is growing limits your understanding of the invariability of the aspect of what we're talking about. See, there are words, everything has energy. And so the words, again, this is me being an energetic shaman, vibrational minister, if you will. Being an energetic shaman, I speak to how the words have energies, and how those energies are either captivating, incarcerating, or liberating. So people don't think about the terms or the etymology of words. And I don't get into a whole lot of get this book, read that book, da, da, da. What I speak to, because this is for me to remember. See, it's the encoding, the encrypted information that's for you to decode is already in you. They can't write a book that's going to release that which is in you already. They cannot write the book. There's no book that they can write for that. They can write books to give you ideas, but again, the minute you take any type of idea that's outside of you, which is by design, by divinity's design, anything outside of you is a reflection of what's in you. So if you take something that somebody said and you specifically follow the path of what was given in a book that was presented to you because you magnetize yourself to get this, because there's something in you, maybe your higher self is asking for this, and the minute you take that and then now you're going to internalize something external instead of allowing yourself to flow with that understanding through you, not take that understanding and say it's for me, it's mine. Now you want to lay claim to something that is infinitely, eternally, ever flowing. Consciousness is not captured. You can't. They found out and figured out ways of how to capture it. And again, that is a limiting. Everything that anyone can ever give you or attempt to give you, because they can't really give you something you already have. They can't give you something you already have. Then the minute you want to take on something that somebody's giving you because you don't think you got it or you don't think you have it, then that's the moment in which you're suppressing your own self, that which is already in you. You're suppressing that to acquire or to allow something that is going to be deceptive to you. Why? Because it's not from you. it could be a reflection of you, but the minute you try to grasp it and grab it and say this is mine and hold it and clutch it and um, have it to be like a possession, that's when the power is limited. It's a limiting aspect to your being when you assume that something is better than you, or that they know more than you, or that they can do more than you, or anything over you. You're already suppressing and reducing your ability to perceive a higher aspect of yourself. So where's that power? And so the intention behind capturing your attention is to keep you in the status quo. Oh, it's a new technology and it's a new this and it's a new, yeah, of course. But how you relate to it and what you agree to determines if it's the same old, the same old cycle looping. If you're looping or if you're allowed to flow freely. This is where we are today. This is not a, and it's a game. It's a game. It's a game to see, for you to see within yourself to what degree you will allow yourself, or to what degree you'll remember yourself. And then once you do, how much do you respect that? How much do you really love that? How much are you really caring about that? How important is that to you? Your intention is always going to show itself. The intention of your heart will always display. It's always going to be on go out before you. It's a frequency. It's going to automatically go out from you. And it's based on wherever you decide you sincerely, authentically, and genuinely want to process. You have to want this. You can't, it's not something that just falls in your lap. What happens is you get your subconscious may take you somewhere and you look up and say, wow, I didn't know, I didn't this, and I didn't expect it, and it's, God did. Yeah, no, your subconscious, you on a path based on something that's already encoded in you. This has nothing to do with anything anybody given you or gave you or thought you needed. So they ain't nobody gonna give you something that you need if it trumps or goes beyond what they need for you or from you. It's about what they need from you. It's not about what what you're gonna be able to do for yourself. Because guess what? You're doing it for yourself. You may not think you are. You may not have no clue as to what you're doing, but it's working. And so all I'm saying is, and all I'm sharing is what I know. What I know is everything has energy, frequency, and vibration. The atoms, when they get in a cluster, they're more powerful. But independently, they're just as dynamic on their own. And we have what? Trillions, tens of trillions of cells, of atoms, of cells that are made up of molecules and atoms. So we have power. There's no question in my mind. But however, not knowing how it works is the catch-22. It's like getting a new toy or getting something and it didn't come within the instructions. You got to figure it out. Well, you don't have to figure it out. All you have to do is remember. But a part of remembering is you got to want it. If you don't want it, you ain't getting it. It don't just come to because the sincerity has to be there. Genuine authenticity has to be there. Your divinity is not a requirement. It just is. You already this. This is not something that you have to acquire. You got to go and learn. There's no learning. You already know. You're afraid to allow yourself to release the energy to show you. So that's where you are. That's where a lot of people are. Even myself, I have my challenges in terms. Well, I won't say challenges, but I have my fears. I'll say because we've all, when we forgot, we come to this dimension, and a part of agreeing to come here is to forget so that you can reawaken and remember and move like you know, because you do. So that's a part of the game. A part of the game is to know yourself, and in knowing yourself, it's kind of like playing hide and seek. You know, you know where you are, but you don't know where you are. You know who you are, but you don't know who you are. You know what you can do, but you don't really know what you can do until you actually do it. So the part of the game is so much as allowing yourself to be free enough to flow with it. That's what it really boils down to. It's a game, and because your emotions get caught up in it, or because you're an emotional, you have emotional, you have an emotional body, a physical body, a spiritual body. You know all those different layers, which are like onions, and each layer has sub levels to different things, but they're all connected through your consciousness or through consciousness, not yours, because you don't own nothing. We don't own nothing. We want to own something. We own the right to be self loving and self aware. Own that right. And when you do that, everything else comes with it. All the things that you think you're supposed to have or wish you had, or you are the abundance. You are the abundance in the sea of abundance. So any and everything that is, you are. The difference is when you don't know, when you're guessing, when you, well, maybe, or I believe. You believe because you don't know. The only reason why you believe is because you don't know. Because if you know, you don't have to believe. You know. Knowing and belief is not the same. Just like religion and spirituality is not the same. They're not even similar, actually, because one is an indoctrination process, the other one is a free flowing, you know, um, process. One is about control, and the other one is about liberation. So they're not the same, but they've been given to those who looking to get. So what is the intention behind capturing your attention? Control. Same old soup warmed over. One trick pony. About control. Everything is about control. This AI development, it's about control. They've not really processed a true understanding of, it was just generated for resource, as a resource. And now they're governing, there's no real governance, but they're using it to govern. So AI is going to be governing everything and everyone and every corporation and what have you. And that's their choice. That's not a bad thing. It's not a scary thing. What it is just being attuned to the reality and the truth of this now time. We have to stay connected to this now time. So the um, the intention again for your attention is control. Because if they control your attention, they can when your attention is averted from your own responsibility to yourself, then fear and doubt and all those different things can come in. That's a whole that's been the name of the game since they came out of the caves. Since those entities, barbarians as they are, and Neanderthals, because one that people, some people would have you believe that everybody was cavemen. Everybody wasn't cavemen. Everybody didn't come out of caves. Well, some came out of caves. There were people that were basking in the sunshine, eating from and were not kill. They came out of caves, killing animals and eating flesh and all that. Everybody didn't do that. See, the history says we went through a linear from A to B to C to D and on up through time. But as now, as has always been, there's cycles to everything. And so while there were some in caves, there were some already civilized. While there were some out killing and hunting, gathering, learning about fire, there were some that already had cities with air conditioning and flying objects. They transportation, sewer systems. See again, depending on who you are and what history you want to look at. See, if everybody didn't do the same thing at the same time, the same way. Just like everybody can't handle whatever the real truth about where we are and what's going on. Everybody can't handle it. Being afraid of this and afraid of that. There was people that wasn't afraid of the animals because the energy in them, or the energy that projected or came from them, didn't offer one where the animals had to be afraid. There was a commune and a synchronization of consciousness with all things. There was those beings that existed in a time at the same time when there was those beings that existed. It was doing whatever they was doing that was uncivilized. Gotta understand that. So, hey, but it's what you want to choose to gravitate to. That's your choice. That ain't nobody here to tell you you're wrong, you're right. It's no debating. I know what I know, and that's what I know. I don't have to prove anything. But what happens is when something resonates, that's the proof. I don't have to be mad at you because you don't like what I like, or be go to blows with you, or threaten you because you don't want to do what I want to. Hey, go for it. That's your choice. That ain't me. And vice versa. So there's no reason for us to take the position that somebody did something. No, you made a choice. You made a choice. And there's nothing wrong with making a choice. That's really what it's always been about anyway. So you've had people to try to sell you on ideas and sell you on making the choice that they want you to make. Again, the intention behind capturing your attention is to control you. If you don't know that, it's not about me telling you anything. It's about you knowing what you need to know to move on to whatever you need to move on to. But to sit around and complain about it, all you're doing is bringing more, generating more energy, frequency of vibration around the things that you're complaining about, which is bringing you, um, magnetizing you to those things or those things that like that. So you get different variations. It's a cycle. You get variations of the same type of stuff because that's what you're generating energy around. Remember, all of your chakras, each chakra, maybe people don't talk about it, and I'm not here to try to break it down to you. I'm just saying what I know. Each chakra is a swirling vortex. And the more you focus on certain types of energies, depending on what chakra you're using to process that energy through the consciousness that you're holding, each chakra generates a vortex. And as you know from science projects, when you put a coil around, um, well, when something is moving, depending on how much energy you put into it, it'll move even faster. Well, what happens is you're drawing in energies, or you're pushing something out. So depending on what chakra you're using and the mindset you have and all that, you're creating a vortex around magnetizing yourself to where the varying experiences are going to reveal themselves to you based on you. See, this is like a boomerang. You throw a boomerang and it comes back. The energy that you already are, depending on how much energy you put into the focusing of that, whatever it is. If you're complaining all the time, you're bringing about things. I'm gonna say this and I'll be gone. I used to think when I first started driving, and I bought myself bought a little car. I used to think about having accidents all the time because this was new to me. I had a car. I know how to drive. Now I'm standing on the mountain. I'm on something. 19 years old, got my first car, and I bought it myself. Put together my little coins and got. But I was always thinking about having an accident. I was always thinking about, well, what if an accident? I would imagine, I would fantasize, I would think about having accidents on a regular basis. But because I had a new car, well, not a new car, but I had a car. It was new to me. And so me moving about, getting myself mobile, I started having accidents. They wouldn't be serious, little fender benders, little bumps here, but it was always something going on with me and my car and someone else and bumping. And you could chalk it up to me not being really well of a defensive driver or whatever, but I know for a fact that I was imagining, fantasizing, and thinking about various little accidents. Now, nothing was really serious, ever. But what that told me is I put that in my mind, and that, as time went on, I started to generate energy around that reality, of that being a reality. So what was in me started showing itself in various ways. That was one of the first times that I really started thinking about what I'm thinking about and how much I'm really putting into what I'm thinking about. And so as I made the adjustments, as I started to really pay attention to what my focus was on, because it was not my intention to hurt myself or anyone else. So I had to make adjustments to the mindset that I was carrying, because it was with me every day. I was thinking about it on a regular basis. I don't know how often, that's not important. The point is, I generated the energy around the thought, and that thought came to become something for me to experience, because that's what I was carrying in my mind. And the minute I became aware of who, why, how come, and start critically thinking within me, I changed that. Stop happening. I mean, it happened frequently enough for me to have to say, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. What's going on? And again, the all that I am, the higher aspects of myself, I asked the questions, I got the answers. So then, once I got the answers, I applied it. Whatever my idea and understanding was about the answer that I got, I made the application. I applied it in real time to the point where it stopped. It didn't happen anymore at all. So these are the things, that little things you are experiencing, everybody's experiencing on their own level, the various aspects of energy, frequency, and vibration. And it's important that we know that you are responsible for you. Now, you can choose to let somebody else have some responsibility over you, but you're still the ultimate authority on what's happening, whether you want to accept it or not. So once again, this is a voice of consciousness. I'm gonna I do a pre-recording once a week, and I'll do the live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. is the time, and we will definitely be doing live. Whether you show up or you don't show up, that's not the point. The point is, it's going down. All right. So once again, every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Get your head together. 2.1 live stream, and who I am is divine. What I am is divinity in motion. Love with perfect love. Peace.